So after an extended beta phase, Android 13 or One UI 5.0 for Samsung Galaxy phones is now rolling out for eligible devices. If you're wondering what's new, well, here's every key feature that you need to know about. So it's worth noting that Samsung's version of Android 13 is quite different to Google's vision. The build that ships with Galaxy phones and tablets includes a lot of changes that have become synonymous with the Korean manufacturer's vision for Google's own mobile OS. There's a lot here to unpack, so let's get this into a sectional format. You can use the timestamps down below to get quickly to where you need to be. But enough from me, let's get into it. So One UI 5.0 has a ton of front of house changes to help improve the experience when using the default system launcher specifically, although this will work on third-party launchers too. These range from simple tweaks to widgets to complete overhauls for common areas you'll be using on a day-to-day basis. The color palette feature is one of those that has changed a lot and now includes more swatches of tonal changes for you to choose between. 12 wallpaper-based color swatches are available right away, with a further 12 basic color selections. That also includes 4 dual tone options that can be applied to your device and pull directly from your wallpaper. This will theme all of those icons like in the quick settings panel and areas such as those. Throughout the One UI 5 beta, Google's monotone themed icons have steadily been added to Samsung's repertoire here too. With the release or full release of Android 13 for Samsung phones, more icons can now be themed as part of that wider dynamic color settings previously adopted in One UI 4.0. Samsung's default applications are all themed here, with a few exceptions. There are many of Google's first-party applications also adhering to color palette settings on your device. Sadly though, not many third-party apps come with the monochrome home screen icon support, which does make this a little bit frustrating for theming, at least for now that is. Some layout changes are also present in the notification shade here, with wider spacing between incoming notifications and larger app icons to indicate just where that notification has come from. Also on top of that, when pressing or holding any notification, the panel itself that will pop up for you to access per app settings is now a little bit larger. The Deliver Quietly option appears to have also been removed here in One UI 5.0. One cosmetic change here as well to this section is the usage of M3 buttons to highlight the docked notification settings and clear functions within the notification shade on top of that. In One UI 5.0, you can also quickly enter split screen multitasking or put apps in a floating window by long pressing and dragging the app icon from the Recents menu. Dragging up or down allows you to open apps which will be pinned to the top or bottom of your screen as you choose them in super quick fashion, although if you hover in the middle, this will just open in that floating window format has been used in One UI 4.0 and even on a few older builds. A point of contention for One UI and Android in general, though, over the past few years has been the quality and consistency, or at least inconsistency, of animations. Samsung has often been cited as one of the worst offenders regarding unfinished app and UI animations. Android 13 has provided the opportunity, though, for Samsung to clean up some of their motions. There are still some frame skips here and there, but things certainly seem improved, at least substantially, here in Android 13 and One UI 5.0 over Android 12 and One UI 4.0 and 4.1. Scrolling still isn't always as slick as it should be when running on a 120Hz screen. When switching applications, returning to the home screen, or even accessing various floating pull-down UI sections, there is an undoubted improvement here, and that will be music to the ears of a lot of hardcore Samsung fans out there, we're sure of that. Widgets are not often an area of focus when updates do arrive on phones. That said, here in One UI 5.0, a few notable options are now available to you directly. Firstly, there's a new Smart Suggestions widget that can be placed directly on your home screen, and this just offers a variety of, or at least up to 8 applications in our experience, and some functions on top of that will change depending on device context and your device usage, and might be especially useful if you do want the phone to learn from your usability and usage over a course of time. You can also create Smart Stack widgets with more on-device applications, even those that didn't traditionally support them previously. The process has changed here too, so instead of creating a smart widget from the widgets panel, you can just long press on any widget and actually create stack or edit stack to add more widgets to that. You can just scroll from left to right with these and quickly access any widgets, hide them all, have them on one functional area. When you're changing the wallpaper for your device in One UI 5.0, you'll also be greeted with an improved or revamped wallpaper selection screen. It's now easy to navigate with clearer sections or actual sections for each wallpaper type, and a scrollable gallery section that hosts all of your downloaded or user-generated content in their respective folders. On top of that, there are new sections for simple colours, graphical styles, and a dynamic lock screen setting from within this updated area too. After choosing the perfect wallpaper on your device theme, just like on iOS, you'll actually see a mini preview of this in situ with the option to just set it on the home screen, the lock screen, or both simultaneously too. Although similar to the functionality that has existed as part of the Good Lock add-on for Samsung phones at least for some time already, One UI 5.0 melds this into the core Android build on Galaxy phones. There are certainly more than a few similarities to how you can customize iPhone lock screens here in iOS 16, but it does work in the same way. That means just a long press from a lock device will open controls to change the font of the lock screen clock, the wallpaper, and the style of notification widgets. The bottom left and right app shortcuts can also be changed to any installed applications on your device for quick access without having to unlock your phone, as well as that contact information or device lock screen signature that can be changed too. This is familiar in the sense that you can customize this like iOS 16, however you can't actually save specific profiles or even combinations. Instead, you'll just need to change up the lock screen each and every time you do want a new look for your lock screen area. Camera modes are also now more user-friendly with some quick information in tabs for the Pro mode and video mode on Samsung phones. A small eye icon or information icon can be tapped to give a floating pane, which will just give you a brief overview of just what each toggle and setting within the video and photo Pro modes control or alter when you do adjust them. Watermarks can also now be enabled or added for all images taken with your Galaxy camera system thanks to a new toggle within the settings menu. This includes the ability to add a time and a date watermark, the device model number, or a completely custom text watermark to suit your style, add your social media links, with a limited number of fonts and alignment options available to suit how you see this watermarking feature. Samsung has also improved that zoom acceleration when using the digital camera scroll wheel, which is just above all of the controls within the viewfinder itself. When zooming in or out, you'll reach that 100x point or even that 0.5x point if going down a little more easily. This is great if you want to quickly zoom in or out and just grab a snap on the go, but it certainly does make a difference if you can just get between those zoom levels without having to fiddle around for too long. If you use the portrait blur effect for your images, Samsung is now letting you adjust this blur effect after an image is taken from within the stock gallery application. Another neat function added in One UI 5.0 is the ability as well to select, copy, and share text from images and videos within this app too. If there's text in an image, all you'll have to do is a long press and your Galaxy device will analyze and identify any text so that you can copy it wherever you would like. A new custom sticker option also lets you select any part of an image and turn it into a PNG, which can be used as a sticker given it has that transparent nature of PNG images. The edge detection is acceptable for basic edits, but we'd have to say it isn't very precise overall. The markup tool as well has leveled up significantly in One UI 5.0. Now it includes a number of enhanced tools like the ability to create precise shapes when highlighting images sections. This is simple as you can just hold or draw a shape, then hold it in place and the shape itself will be identified and turned into a more accurate image. Samsung has also increased the default selection of stickers that can be applied to images with added block shapes, speech bubbles and glyphs that you can just add to your photos. When adding text, there's even a new in-app slider on the left side which lets you fully control font size with precision just by scrolling upward and downward. Like in Android 13 on Pixel phones though, One UI 5.0 has now integrated the per-app language controls for the Galaxy devices out there. If you're multilingual, you can now set any app on your phone to a different supported language, as long as the application does support it after all. This doesn't actually affect your system language settings, just the apps that you've altered, and is great, as we mentioned, if you speak multiple language or you're learning a language and want to use the applications that you know and want the exact local dialect viewable and usable for multiple people. The settings section has also had a number of alterations to help improve the accessibility and usability of the main device, or at least the main device and control center you'll find on Galaxy phones. Many of these changes are minor though, but simply make it easier to find those more prominent areas and get around to where you need to be. Samsung has made some major changes to the actual connected devices settings. This is a new section for phones, and it offers options like the S Pen, DeX, Link to Windows, Android Auto, wearables, and more. Many have been removed from the advanced features section and now live within this new area, making it a little bit easier for you to dive in at a quick glance from that top level menu. When you're viewing the About Device screen within the settings section, you'll also get a mini PNG preview of the Galaxy device you're using right now, and it even shows the correct colour to boot. It's not exactly a major change, but it's a nice one all the same. There's also a new expanded overflow intelligent Wi-Fi option that is present in One UI 5.0 within the Wi-Fi section itself, and that hides a new Wi-Fi developer menu. So if you open this and scroll down to the intelligent Wi-Fi section, tap that multiple times and this will add a Wi-Fi developer options extra section that provides in-depth connectivity information like band info and Wi-Fi overlap, plus much more. If you're worried about your connectivity of devices, this definitely might be something to enable if you do happen to have a device capable of installing One UI 5.0 too. Each installed app on your phone can now have full customized notifications, including control over the notification type that you see or receive. You're able to change just how notifications appear on your device on an app-by-app basis, including blocking showing the lock screen, disabling badges, and even pop-ups. This stacks with the existing ability to silence incoming notifications completely, which makes it great if you have those applications that just kind of really annoy you too much and you want to fully silence them or only allow specific access when you need it most. Thanks to the new routine pages, modes can be activated or customized depending on device context. And this is simply an automation option that improves upon the previous Bixby routines function used in previous One UI builds. This allows you to create contextual or time-sensitive automations for common phone functions and might be something you want to delve into to really get the most or master your device without actually having to do a great deal once it's set up. If you are unaware, the RAM Plus function lets you set aside up to 8GB of onboard device storage to act as virtual memory and hopefully improve performance by allowing more apps to stay open in the background. And this was previously enabled by default in One UI 4.0 and 4.1. In One UI 5.0, you're now able to disable this outright if you prefer not to lose up to 8GB of onboard storage, and might be especially useful if you are running out of space. So that's all of the major new functions and features in One UI 5.0, aka Android 13 for Samsung phones or Samsung Galaxy phones. I want to ask you though, do you have a favourite new feature or function added here in One UI 5.0 that you love and you don't think you're going to be able to live without? Let me know down in the comment sections below, or what you think is the best new addition down in the comment section below. I'm really intrigued to hear how people feel about Samsung's version of Android versus Google's version of Android. It's always an interesting debate, but as always, this is Damien with 9to5Google saying thanks for watching, and I will speak to you later.